In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the rear brakes on your Dodge Ram. They're located right behind your rear wheels. Using our 7/8 socket, we're going to head loosen and remove our lug nuts. With the lug nuts off, we can go ahead and remove our wheel. 1mm socket, we're going to remove the 2 slider pin bolts on your brake caliper. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and I'm going to gently pry on this here. This is going to slightly compress the piston on our caliper. Go ahead and work that caliper off. I'll set that up out of the way. I'm going to use a securing strap here to hold this caliper back. We don't want this caliper to fall and then cause extra pressure or tugging on the flex hose here that can damage that. Remove our brake pads. Using a 21mm socket, go ahead, loosen and remove this bolt and the one up above. And when you remove this upper bolt, you want to hold onto the caliper bracket as that will fall off. Remove the bolt and the bracket, set them aside. Go ahead and grab your rotor. Wiggle that off and set that aside. Now on our caliper unit, we have our sliders right here, one on each side. We want to go ahead and disassemble these here. I'm going to slide that boot back. Push that slider pin out. I'm going to do that for the other side. I want to go ahead and work the boots out. Might require a little bit of effort, but this is a single boot. It slides out like that. Do the same for this side here. You want to be careful not to damage these here. You want to go ahead and inspect these here. So open them up, spread them, look for any tears or anything like that. Both of our bushings here, or our insulator sleeves here, are in excellent condition, so we're going to reuse these. We want to compress our piston back in to the caliper. So gently going to work this in. You want to make sure that when you do this here that the piston is compressed all the way in. Okay, release our tool. I'm going to use my brass bristle brush and clean up around the top here. I'm going to take off any scaly rust. Now these holes here where the rubber bushings and the sliders go, you want to go ahead and check that out. Check out both of those bores there to see if there's any scaly rust or anything built up in there. If there is rust in here, it can cause resistance with the slider pins and cause this to bind up, causing abnormal brake wear. So make sure that these are cleaned out inside here. You can run a little bit of sandpaper inside there, clean it up. Then we can go ahead and start with our reassembly. I'm just going to take a little bit of grease and put it on the inside of the bore on both of these ports here. Not a lot, just a super thin coat. And take your rubber bushings here, or your protective boots. You're going to work those back in. Pop those in. Do the same for the other side. I'm going to take some grease, I'm going to put it into the boot. Do the same on the other side. Take your slider pins and put some grease on those as well. Go ahead and pop those in, push them through. Do the same for the other one. Make sure that the pins are locked in to that boot. And just wipe off any excess grease on the outside. Before you walk away, make sure you properly anchor this here. You do not want that caliper to drop and pull on that flex hose. We'll go ahead and pop these clips off here. Now these fit in a particular position here. The tabs are offset on this side as well as this side here. You use your bristle brush. You want to clean up where those go. You go ahead and clean up the rest of the bracket as well while you're there. You can do the same for this side here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put some grease on here. Just a thin coat. Do the same for this side here. You'll install your parts here. This one here goes on this side here. This little tab fits into this groove. Press it into place. Flip it. Install this one here. Make sure it sits down nice and flush on both sides. If it's not sitting flush and it's rocking, take this off and continue to clean the bracket itself until it fits on nice. You want to make sure that the hub face is clean of any rust, any nuggets or anything like that that might be on there that would cause our brake rotor to not sit flush on here. Apply some anti-seize to the hub face. I'm going to go ahead and install the rotor. Go ahead and slide that over. Go ahead and get both of these bolts started. Let's go ahead and install our inboard brake pad. Make sure that these notches fit into our slides here. Now these slide tracks are pretty snug, so what I'd like to do is just gently open up the retainer on the top and bottom, and that lets the pad pop in. Just gently twist out and pop that in. Do the same on the bottom. Okay, to bring your caliper over. You want to make sure that your sliders are pushed out. That's going to allow you to fit this into place. Slide this over. I'll go ahead and install our lower pivot bolt or our slide pin bolt. Get that started a few threads. And we'll go ahead and line up the top. Let's go ahead and get that one started. Let's go ahead and torque down our caliper bracket bolts to 100 foot-pounds. Torque down our caliper bolts here to 11 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and line up our wheel. That lined up, and let's go ahead and install our lug nuts. Once we have all these on, I'm going to go ahead and snug them down. Let's go ahead and torque down the lug nuts to 135 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.